What's you've written so many chapters, you've lived so many chapters. What would this chapter of your life be called?
Ooh, that's a great question. So I'm just turned 56. And 40s were my favorite decade. I think I really customized. And I found that to be true for a lot of people, especially a lot of the men I talk to. They go, man, 40s, ooh, you get rid of all that stuff where you're wasting your time and you're honing in on the stuff that turns you on. Look, 50s, I'm still in the first few years of 50s were a little wobbly for me. So you go, oh, is this that midlife crisis? And I go, well, what is that? I don't like the word crisis on that. Sounds like a midlife, for lack of a better word, opportunity. It's a time where, for whatever reason, man looks back and goes, what have I done? And now where am I going? And I think my hunch is that most people go through what they call a midlife crisis. And if it's hard for them or not healthy for them, it's because maybe they're not giving enough credit to what they actually have done to get there. You know, it's like, oh, no, I did that.
Yeah.
Done. Next. You know, like we're talking about me, need more accomplishment. Well, wait a minute. Sometimes it's all right to go, what did you do back there that actually you're still building? What if we take that to another level? Put another log on that fire. My goal when I hit the 50s, my goal, it came to me, was like, hey, you're an actor. You play a character in someone else's script that someone else wrote, directed by someone else, lensed in a camera from someone else, and edited by someone else before your performance is shared. And I love acting, but I go, there's 4 filters of my raw expression before it's getting to you. We were talking about this before we got on camera today. You go on stage, boom, it's direct. This is pretty direct, but there's still a filter here. You know what I mean? Writing, there's still one filter. But that's when I headed into writing, is I wanted to get rid of 3 of the filters. And that's when it said, oh, what if I write the word? Can I pull off and give someone, translate the human experience where people can see themselves through words? Can I paint a picture of my own experiences, which someone else can go, oh, I've been there. I know what you're talking about. But that's still a filter. So the challenge I've been that keeps just gnawing at me since I've turned 50 is like, what's your documentary? What are you doing? Are you a character in life, in the big show? The one that our action was called the day you were born, and cut will be called the day you die. What are you doing live? Is that worth a show? Is it entertaining? Is it educational? Is it fulfilling? Does it turn you on? Could it turn other people, put people on? What's happened? That's now we're talking no filters. And so I've started to question myself. I'm going, what's your, let's think about, is there other avenues for you to live live instead of doing someone else's script? What's your script? Now, that's led me to think about different ways of leadership. It's led me to write more. It's also led me to go on the hard days to give myself a little amnesty and go, dude, take a little wisdom from Bob Dylan. You are what you create yourself to be. Maybe if you feel more alive acting in a show through a character, well, bravo. That's still you. Don't act like that's not you. You didn't get to your real self. I mean, you are to be the creation. And it's okay if I'm going to go play a part. We're all playing a part. Are we playing, if we can get to a part that is essentially close to essentially who we are, bravo for us. If we can't, we're having trouble doing that. If we can play a part that we're good at and shows a piece and translates to show a piece of humanity, turns other people and us on, even though it may not be corely who we are, well, bravo for getting away with that one too. You know, but play one at a time is another little tip I have to remind myself, because the great performers, whether I think in life or in acting, you know, they can play any part. They can be any creation, but they're always one at a time. And that's where some patience has to come in. That's where a bit of that, hey, don't rush to accomplish. Just play one part at a time. But as life gets big, and you've got a career and you've got a family, there's many parts to play. Father, husband, performer, or writer, whatever those are. But as you know, with practice, that instead of feeling like 5 different hats you got to wear one day, you go, oh, that's all part of the same story. That's all part of the same man I am.
So the chapter would be called One at a Time?
The chapter would be called, I wish it was called, sometimes I think it should be called One at a Time. My long answer to what would the chapter be would be,
I loved your answer.
We've got I opened up 8 lanes to about 12 lanes. When you open up to more lanes and you've been comfortable on these 8 and you know them well, there's a little growing pains with getting comfortable in those other new lanes, without disregarding my 8 that I've built that I'm comfortable in. So I would say 4 more lanes. Let's call that chapter. Let's call it 4 more lanes.
4 more lanes. Yeah. It's interesting listening to you because I think you've highlighted a really interesting human trait that we all possess, where when we achieve something and it's no longer useful, we start to denigrate it. So, for example, if I think a certain mindset is going to help me at this point in my life, I'll use it. It will get me to where I want to get to. And then when I get there, I'll go, oh, I didn't like that mindset. I wish I was this way. And we kind of do that time and time again. And I assume decade by decade, where we reject the thing that got us here and don't value it because now it isn't what the new world looks like. It's like, and making it very basic, a crude example is, I thought that was cool to wear. And now 10 years later, I look back and I think, why was I wearing that? Like, I'm crazy. But think about that on an internal soul level of the mindsets we wear and the behaviors we wear. And like taking a moment, as you said, to give yourself that amnesty to say.
And to make sense of humor, the default emotion, when you look back and you're embarrassed of something you did that actually got you what you wanted, to go, to go instead of judging it, at least start off giggling at it. It helps with the amnesty. It also helps change a gear and go, the realization of, I wouldn't have learned that lesson if I wouldn't have been such an egotistical prick at the time, because I wouldn't have had the confidence to put myself in the situation to get humbled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can look at all the piles of SHIT we step in, and they lead to, the clean water we get to drink from the well down the line, or the truth we figure out. I mean, it's I always say that to mystery going forward, it's science looking back. Because we can all connect the dots to exactly where we are right now, and there's a science to it. And that science has to do with when we face planted and tripped ourselves and messed up, or went about it the wrong way, but maybe got the outcome we wanted, or went about it the wrong way and didn't get the outcome we wanted. I think that has a lot to do with and I don't know, do you think this is a Western thing, our relationship with failure? We're embarrassed. In some ways, I wish we were more embarrassed. All right. But in other ways, I'm like, we have to get with children, it's like they're afraid to fail. And it's like, no. If anything, if I look back, I always answer the question, what would you do different? I wish I would have taken more risk and failed more. And I'm still trying to challenge myself to that today. But we have this relationship with failure as like an embarrassing thing to do, instead of shaking hands and going, no, failure will happen. And if it doesn't happen, you're probably not taking enough risks, or you're not getting out of your comfort zone. So no, failure is part of the successful path. It's necessary. And we don't have a good relationship with it. Is that a Western thinking?
I think it comes from the Western versus Eastern ideology of time. So in Eastern traditions, time is cyclical, and in Western traditions, time is linear.
Yeah.
And as soon as you make time linear, failure means a step behind.
Right.
But as soon as time is cyclical, well, then it's just repeating itself.
Revolution.
So that concept transforms how you view failure, because failure then becomes a part of a cycle.
Yeah.
Whereas failure in a linear journey is bad.
Yeah.
Because it means I'm going backwards.
Is
someone else's
success in the same way in the Western world vertical, as in, 2 steps up the ladder, failure, you step back down the ring. Whereas in the Eastern philosophy, it's not necessarily so vertical quantity.
Yeah, I would say if the Western is outwards and upwards, then the Eastern is inwards.
Okay.
And so the inner journey, for example, the quest to understand outer space would not be as interesting as the inner sky.
Heard.
The inner sky would be more
Heard.
of a magnetic pull to understand.
Heard.
If that helps. Makes
Yes,
sense.
it does.
Yeah. Yeah. And so these little mindsets, I feel, it's what you said earlier. You change your language about midlife crisis to midlife life opportunity. Yeah. That language shift is revolutionary for the mind.
It's wild, isn't it? The vernacular, the prescriptionist definition, or just a word. I've had the hardest time for 40 years dealing with the word humility. Come on, gotta be humble, Matthew. Gotta be humble. Gotta be more humble. My shoulders would start to cave. My head would start to go down. I became passive. I had the moment where it was my turn, and I didn't take the opportunity. I had a false sense of modesty. No, you go. Or it's that person that's at the in front of you at the stop sign that says, "No, you can go." And now it's your turn to go. No, you can go. It's like, no, it's your turn to go. It's like, don't sit there and keep telling everything. That's a false modesty. It's like, they went, now you can go. Don't let them all go through or I'm going to start honking the horn. You know what I mean? Until I heard a definition that was humility is admitting you have more to learn. And as soon as I heard that, I went, oh, I'm in. I purchase. My chin's up, my heart's high, my shoulders are back, and I admit I've got a lot more to learn, but now I've got the confidence to move forward. And I didn't get that click. It was just a definition. Vulnerability is another word that kind of has a mingling definition that some people are hard to take it. Or, sentimentality. It's different between sentiment and sentimentality. And we all want to be humble, but nobody wants to be humiliated. Yeah. Well, aren't they of the same word? One little flick of a definition. We found, you know what? Camilla and I, when we went to D.C. with the gun control after the shooting, we said, instead of calling it gun control, and we're talking to especially some people on the far right, the word they love, which is true, not control. Nobody wants to mandate. But we call it gun responsibility. Oh, they're raising their hand, go, I'm all for responsibility. What do you mean? But the word control, they're like, I'm not listening to another word. Control is what I don't want. Yeah. But you say, call it responsibility. Oh, now I'll talk to you. It's amazing how a word sometimes, and you don't know what someone else's definition is. They may have a completely different definition of that by how they grew up, what they experienced, what their parents taught them, what school, how that word, what that gave them in their life when they thought they were acting that way. Yeah. Or living that way.
It's so true. It's so true. And that's such a great example with humility. My favorite definition that I learned about humility was always being honest with yourself. And so it's like humility is being honest with yourself. So I'm good at this and I'm not so good at this. I'm great at this and I can be confident about it. And this needs a bit of work, And so if I can be honest with myself, then that's humility because I'm accepting that there's more I need to learn, but there is something that I have to offer.